Overwatch World Cup is finally back, and it kicked off with Canada versus the United Kingdom, and it was supposed to be an absolute banger of a match, but what we got instead was a fucking leaf trying to take down the British monarchy. On Ilios Lighthouse, Canada started off strong and seemed to have the edge compositionally. Calzolari was untouchable at the top of the point, Jakaru was trading for kills at best on Winston, and Canada's ult cycle was looking super strong after securing a fight win with only a nano onto Seeker's Echo. But Canada let their advantage slip in one single fight. Britain was able to stage a dive onto Cal without taking any poke whatsoever, and Backbone, who's playing Ana by the way, hit an insane cross-map nade to confirm the kill. From there, the UK were able to win with only a nano boost, and suddenly Canada were down ults, had less impactful ults, and no longer had control of the point. Cal could never set up to play Kovacs, Noxus was invisible on Tracer, and there was just no gas. On Well, False whipped out the Stallion, and Noxus pulled up on Torb, which was basically Bastion at home. While the turret did not do anything into Echo Sojourn, he made the backline difficult for Jakaru the dive, which did 15 times more than whatever was going on with last round's Tracer pick. Between Jakaru being shut down and Funny Astro finding no value on Brig or even Lucio, Canada had more space to work with than the amount of land uninhabited in the nation, and so they went to round 3. Ruins was a Canadian tragedy, rivaling the great Newfoundland mustard pickle shortage of 2016. This is not hyperbolic, it was really that bad. Jakaru on the Doom was too much to handle initially, and Britain got the first 85% as a result. But once Canada had the point, they set up Seeker for success on Bastion and had Noxus control the cave flank on Tracer, and suddenly they were holding strong. That is, of course, up until the very last fight, where Crimzo made the decision to heal Seeker instead of False, fighting for his life on the point. But what I really struggle to understand is where the immortality field's gone. You see, it has this really cool property where it makes people inside of the field unable to die at all. So if either of these guys were perhaps in it, the other could have been healed up. And the location of this device may shock you because it was pickle chilling in his Minecraft inventory and only made an appearance after 3 dudes were already dead. Crimzo was the last player on this team anyone was worried about. I don't know if the lack of Tim Hortons is getting to him. Maybe we need Trudeau to send out an executive shipment. I have no clue. But it was absolutely brutal to see high treason performed in broad daylight just like that. And if you thought Ruins was bad, just wait for Circuit Royale. You might expect the team with 2 hitscan players, an off-tank enjoyer, and double flex support preference to play a standard poke comp on the poke map, but of course they didn't. Instead, they wanted to go head-to-head on a May Rush comp against Backbone because that is just so intelligent. While we're at it, let's just play Cal and Lucio the entire map instead of bringing in Mateball just for fun. Why not? As for the British people, Cronus must have been locked up because Christopher opted for Mamone on the BAP over him, and I mean it worked out, so continue I suppose, but it is quite curious. The map wasn't a complete disaster for Canada because after being put in a body bag on first, they managed a 4-minute second point hold thanks to consistent opening picks and Seeker going ballistic on Bastion, but their offense was catastrophic. On Canada's offense, it took them 2 minutes to even find a kill on the first corner, and even then they didn't win the fight off it, they just forced the UK to back up a tiny bit. It's like Canada doesn't realize that Seeker kill 5 is a valid strategy in this meta, and don't get me wrong, his gameplay was good regardless, but when we know he's capable of taking over maps against top owl teams, if he's not on Soj, it just feels like wasted potential. And also, if you're going to play Lucio for an entire map, consider playing your Lucio player. Cal did have one nice forced C9 boop, but like other than that, he was completely invisible. There is a dimension out there where Canada used these strats and still came out on top, but it just makes too much sense to try and play to your strengths as a team, and seeing them not even attempt that makes this loss feel way worse. In other news, I am an official co-stream partner of the World Cup on both Twitch and YouTube, so tap in for an unparalleled viewing experience, and be sure to subscribe for more pro Overwatch content. Have yourself a good one. Deuces.